Hi there, and welcome back to The Kathryn James Show, where we come together to upscale our thinking, up-level our game, and learn to move from stuck to sensational. On this show, we talk about all aspects of life. And this week, I want to talk to you about how to refuse the excuse. You see, it was Benjamin Franklin who said, "He who is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else." And Mason Cooley who said, "Excuses change nothing, but they make everyone feel good." And herein lies the problem. Far too many would rather take the path of feel good than the path of change and the steps necessary to improve their quality of living. Not long ago, I was talking with a young lady who was angry. She was angry about the way she was being treated on her job. And during our conversation, I reminded her that it was within her power to make change. She had the power to change her job. She had the power to go out and find another job. During that conversation, she went on to tell me a number of excuses. You see, she stepped into feel-good mode. She told me how she wasn't ready to interview, how her resume wasn't up to date, how she had a number of friends on her current job, and she had been at that job a long time. Just a plethora of excuses. Now, I won't knock her too much because I do remember a time where I too stepped into feel-good mode and used many excuses. Now, what's real funny about excuses is we can make them sound real sexy. Excuses like, "I would do that, but I don't have time." Excuses like, "I'm just too busy." Excuses such as, "I don't have enough money," "I'm too fat," "I'm too thin," "I'm too tall," and on and on and on. Excuses. Excuses not only make us feel good, but they somehow make us believe that it helps keep our self-esteem in check. But here is the truth of the matter. We really know when we're using excuses. We really know when we're playing full out in our lives. So your self-esteem really isn't in check. I would argue to say it's probably being diminished because we know the truth. So how do we refuse the excuse? I'm going to give you a few points. And the first is you have to be real with yourself. Get real and get honest. You know if you're showing up and using excuses. You know if you're playing full out. Be honest with yourself. Once you identify or you be honest, then you want to make the declaration that you are not going to use excuses anymore. We just decide. We don't have to use excuses. We show up, we play big, and we play full out. The next is to determine your standard of living. How do you want to live? What do you want your life to look like? Lisa Nichols wrote a book called No Matter What. I love the book, but I love the title, I think even more. Because no matter what says, it doesn't matter what happens in my life. It doesn't matter what comes before me. It doesn't matter what I have to deal with. No matter what, I am going to make this happen. Or no matter what, this is not going to happen. So once you determine your standard of living, you want to show up from a space of no matter what. No matter what, I'm going to lose the weight. No matter what, I'm going to get that promotion. No matter what, I am going to start that business. No matter what, I'm going to save that money. No matter what. No matter what. Then you want to take time to reflect. Reflect. What will you gain if you refuse the excuse? And here's an example. One of my excuses, I'm too busy to work out. My excuse. If I refuse that excuse, I will gain a healthier life. Okay? I will gain or lose in this matter a few pounds that I could stand to lose. So what will you gain if you lose the excuse? Then you want to make a list of what will you continue to receive if you continue to use the excuse. There's a quote that says the definition of insanity is to continue doing the same thing and expecting different results. So if you continue to use your excuses, you're going to probably continue to get the results you've been getting. So what will you continue to receive as a result of continuing to use the excuse? Okay, so a quick recap. How do we refuse the excuse? First, you want to get real with yourself. Be honest. If you're using excuses, make the determination right now that you're going to stop using excuses. Then set the standard of living. How do you want to live? How do you want to show up in the world? What type of life do you want to have? And once you set that standard, then take the no matter what approach. No matter what, I'm going to do what's necessary to ensure I get the results that I've said I want to get. Then take a step back and reflect. Reflect. If I refuse the excuse, what will I gain? If I continue to use the excuse, what will I continue to receive? Refuse the excuse. As I close, I leave you with my favorite quote. In this life, we get to choose, so choose to live an amazing life. See you next week.